Let's talk the TV show Confederate. And for those of you who don't know, the showrunners of the hit TV show Game of Thrones are going to pursue a new show after they're done with Game of Thrones called Confederate, where the South has won and slavery still exists in some form in the South. Oh. Man, it'd be exciting to see that fantasy world. Like, that opens up a whole new realm of possibilities. Like, you know, after the Civil War ended and in the real world, black people were given back all their rights and equality was immediately given. So I have some ideas for you guys for the Confederate show. Okay, at the turn of the 19th century, I'm just spitballing here. We'll call them Jim Crow laws. Okay, so you start off Confederate, and everybody is still enslaved. Okay, but you want to make it seem like the Union won a little, so you give black people freedom, right? But what you really do is you let them be free. Okay. And then you throw Jim Crow laws on them. Okay, I just made it up off the top of my head. Basically, it's the idea that black people just don't have the same equality. It still kind of keeps them down. It's like that whole slavery thing is still kept, right? But you're definitely going to have some revolutionary leaders and some abolitionists step up and fight Jim Crow. So that's not going to last forever, and it's backed by the Ku Klux Klan, which will be a main character. Like, one of your main characters will definitely be in the Ku Klux Klan in Confederate. Okay, so you finally get Jim Crow laws abolished. So you got to think of some other way for the South to continue to win. But instead of all of it going away, keep segregation, right? Boom, there you go. You still got this whole fantasy world as if black people were never granted rights right after the Civil War. You know, the Emancipation Proclamation never happened. Okay, so you got segregation, but honestly, to make it more realistic, after a little while, you're probably going to have some people rise up. So probably in like the 1960s in your storyline, you have people rise up, right? Let's just call them, I don't know, Arten Ufer Karing. He'll be one of the ones who leads it with Edgar Nevins. And let me see, just spitballing ideas off the top of my head. Alcomi W, right? And they're the dudes who lead the revolution against segregation, right? And finally, they get rid of segregation, okay? But you're not done. Like the South still has to be in victory here. So, let's put in the 13th Amendment, let's put lingo that means that if we start to imprison people, they get all their rights stripped away, because that's what slavery was anyway. Gosh, these ideas are so good. Please, Weiss and Benioff, you guys have to take these ideas. Okay, so you create the prison industrial complex, right? So you start to just ship black people off to prison for no reason. Let's say a black person looks at a white woman weird. Boom, take him, put him in jail. Let's say a black person decides to think for himself and try to start his own business. No, can't do that. Put him in jail, okay? Let's just say a black person is black. Shoot him, you know, kill him, bah, bah, bah. Like, you know, whole police type thing where the police keep killing him. Gosh, I really should be in this writer's room. Okay, but that's not enough, because, like, black people are going to get wise and start to realize that that's a thing, okay? So, like, you keep the industrial complex, but you call it something else. Call it, a war on drugs, and then make the drugs readily available to black communities and only bust them for it. Like, if a white person ever touched the drugs, and mind you, this isn't all over the nation, this is just the South here, but if a black person ever touches drugs, boom, locked up, you know? Then they get all their rights stripped away, and they work in basically prison camps in prison. But we don't let people know, because behind the doors of prison, you don't really see what's going on. Okay? So, like, all that going on, I think that would be, like, the most fantastical depiction of what it would be like if the South had won the Civil War and slavery still existed in some form or another. Guys, I really should be a writer for this room. Guys, after saying all those ideas, I can't express to you how excited I am about the TV show Confederate coming from HBO. Please, guys, let's just give all our support to it. And honestly, Benioff and Weiss, you can use any of those ideas that I just stated. They're, like, brilliant. Honestly, all of that spur of the moment. Like, man, I'm going to be so excited when I'm in the writer's room for this HBO show.